rock, splitting it right in half, knocking that baby grand piano off the right side of the rock. And if you look closely, you can still see it there to this day. Legs propped against the rock and keys facing the heavens. Does everyone see it on the right side of the rock? And imagine that uppermost pointed rock is the hawk's upper beak. That lower curved rock is the hawk's lower beak. And that rock sticking straight out in the middle is the hawk's tongue. Now if you could stretch your imagination a little bit further and imagine that split in the top rock is the hawk's eye. And that big slab of rock to the right of the head sticking straight out at us is the hawk's wing and shoulder as it soars across the Wisconsin River. Now I did mention this is the most famous rock formation as it was featured in Life magazine back in 1962. Known as Potsdam Sandstone. Now Potsdam Sandstone is so rare, it is found in only 4 places in the entire world. Potsdam, Germany, where it gets its name, Zurich, Switzerland, upstate New York, and the largest by far is this 10-mile stretch of the Wisconsin River. Now Potsdam Sandstone is so brittle that if I were to give each and every one of you a piece of it, you'd be able to crumple it in your hands with little to no effort. And it's also a very porous rock. It locks in all the moisture, which allows trees to grow right out the top of it with little to no topsoil. That's actually caused by one of the worst natural disasters to ever hit the Wisconsin Dells area. Back on June 9th of 2008, this area received record amount of rainfall, causing artificial Lake Delton, which is just on the other side of the highway over there, to rise 51.5 inches. Now that water needed to go somewhere, so it found the weakest point in the lake, which just so happened to be right over here, broke through and emptied all 267 acres of Lake Delton into the Wisconsin River in just about 2.5 hours, taking along with it 4 vacation homes. Now after all was said and done, the damages cost the city of Lake Delton about $3.6 million, and it took about 3 months to reconstruct the hill and highway to the right. Now just to give you an idea of how high the river got with the addition of Lake Delton, if you take a look off to the left where the sand meets the tree line, that's how high this river got that day. tour about 150 years ago. Over here on the right would be the lost city of Newport. Now, Newport was founded when it was rumored that the Milwaukee Lacrosse Railroad Company was going to build a bridge between that point and that point. So everyone came to this area. They bought up all the land, hopes of selling it back to the railroad company and make a massive profit. Now, Brian Kilbourne found out about their little scheme, so he packed up operations and moved about 2 miles upstream to the city of Kilbourne. Now, once that happened, everyone left Newport, making it a ghost town virtually overnight. Now, you may be thinking, well, if it's a ghost town, then where are all the buildings? Well, it turns out it was actually a blessing in disguise, because in the early 1900s, there is a wildfire that swept through the area, taking out the whole town of Newport, except for one building called Dawn Manor, which we will be taking a look at later on in today's tour. Folks, I have just re-engaged the wheels for our first amphibious landing via Dell Creek. Newman Dam, built back in 1927 to hold back the rushing waters of Dell Creek and form artificial Lake Delton. Now, when the breach happened back in 2008, many people believed the dam was at fault, but that was actually not the case. But just as an extra precaution, the city of Lake Delton added an extra 80-foot spillway to keep anything like that from ever happening. So now would be the perfect opportunity for you folks to take out your cameras and take all the damn pictures you'd like. Alright, now how should we enter the lake today? Fast or slow? Fast. Alright. Now just a fair warning, there may be a mist coming over the front of the duck, getting myself, my co-pilot, and maybe the first few rows wet.
Yeah, let's do it.
But that is nothing compared to that 8-foot tidal wave coming up across the back. So if you have anything on the ground you don't want to get wet, I would pick that up now and hold on tight. Alright, here we go.
I didn't get wet. Well, I did. I got my short.
Now, I was not kidding about that tidal wave back there, now was I, guys? Now, don't worry if you did happen to get a little wet. We are on artificial Lake Delton, which means it's fake water.
Not fake water.
It means you're not really wet.
No, it was.
Perform. Now that brown building with the green roof to the right of that is Wilderness on the Lake. Now those two towers in front of the duck belong to Noah's Ark Water Park. And that big white mansion in front of the duck belongs to the owners of Mount Olympus. Coming up in front of the duck is the house I mentioned already in today's tour, known as Delton Manor. Now, Delton Manor was built back in 1855 by Captain Abraham Vanderpool. Now, Captain Vanderpool is quite the local celebrity. He was a Civil War hero, co-signer of the Wisconsin State Constitution, and close friends with our 16th President, Abraham Lincoln. It is even rumored that Lincoln spent a few nights in that home. Now, after Captain Vanderpool passed away, the house went through a series of owners until it fell into the hands of Miss Helen Robb back in 1943. Now, Miss Robb was quite the world traveler, and she actually brought back several priceless artifacts, paintings, and jewelry to decorate the inside of her home. Now, they are actually still inside there to this day, making the house worth about $2 million. Now, I'd love to take you all inside Delton Manor and give you a good look around, but I cannot do that for two reasons. Reason number one, the house is still privately owned by the Robb family. And reason number two, as good of a duck driver as I think I am, I don't think I could fit this big green machine through those 2 front doors. But I can do the next best thing and show you pictures of the inside of Dawn Manor and the breach that occurred to our right later on in today's tour. Have you take a look off to the right. This is the best view we can give you of that breach that occurred back in 2008. Just imagine 4 lakefront homes sitting along the shoreline that were then washed away through the highway into the river down below. Including white-tailed deer, rabbits, squirrels, chipmunks, chimpanzees, monkeys, lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my. Now if you do happen to see any lions or bears on the tour today, just shout it out to me and I will do my best to swerve and run them right over. Now you may be thinking to yourself, Bergen, why would you want to hit such a majestic creature? Well, here at the original Wisconsin Ducks, we are all die-hard Green Bay Packer fans. But now I don't think we're going to see any lions or bears on the tour today, because earlier this morning I came around the area and painted a white goal line. Now we all know no lions or bears can cross one of those. Now just in case you missed it earlier, we have another baby stop sign coming up on the left. Now do we have any lions or bears fans in the tour today? Yeah? Alright, well then this is your stop. No, I am only kidding. But there is actually a story that goes along with that baby stop sign right there. So the other day I was just driving the trails, minding my own business, and I came across that stop sign, but I didn't bother to stop. I kind of just slowed down. Little did I know, my boss Dan was hiding in the trees over there and saw the entire thing happen. So when I got back to the Ducks, he asked me, Bergen, how come you didn't stop for that stop sign? I said, Dan, we're in the middle of the woods. There's not much traffic, so I thought I would just slow down. The next day, he grabbed me by my ear, threw me in his truck, brought me to that same stop sign, and started beating me over the head with it. I was yelling, stop, Dan, stop, that hurts, stop. And he said to me, Bergen, would you like me to stop or just slow down? I hope we have some roller coaster fans on board today, because we are now entering Roller Coaster Hill.
up there. 2 of them. We are at the middle of the lot.
We are now stopped here in what is known as Last Look Point. Now it's called Last Look Point for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 being the last good look you're going to get of the Wisconsin River on today's tour. Now if you follow the shoreline, you may be able to see where we entered today down at Echo Point. Echo Point. Echo Point. Echo. And reason number 2, we are stopped on a very steep hill. So if you're scared like me, then just do what I do. And cover your eyes. Now if you weren't scared before, you should be now. Is it a right or a left? Should I just try right? Alright, here we go. Now I am only kidding, but as you can see, that 50-foot drop to the right is no joke. But don't worry, here at the original Wisconsin Ducks, we are all about your guys' safety. So this morning, I personally installed this steel mesh barricade you can see to the right. Now you may be thinking to yourself, Bergen, that's just chicken wire. That's not going to hold back anything. Well, Hank at the hardware store assured me, if it can hold back a chicken, it'll most certainly hold back a duck. Now off to the left here we have the Lake of the Dells, built back in